Come on now, are we ready to have a good laugh tonight? Please welcome to the stage your opening act for this evening, the hilarious Akash Pandey.
Yay! Woohoo! Fake energy. Good job. Wow. Oh, nice bottle of water. Amazing. Okay, before I begin the show, yeah? Let's do a quick question. How many of you here have heard me before? Go woohoo! Oh, wow, that's a lot of people. I did not expect that. For the rest of you, let me jog your memory. Hello, sir. Would you like to buy the new Microsoft support package? Racist people. That's actually my cousin Rajesh, okay? Life has been really tough for him after the Big Bang Theory. Yeah, man. You know, it's fucking weird because ever since I moved to Europe, people just look at me and they assume what I do for a living. Does anyone want to take a guess what I do for a living? IT? Yeah. No, I'm actually an aerospace engineer. I know, right? But I don't blame you guys for it because people who look like me, you know, they run Google, Microsoft, and a bunch of other tech companies. And then the other half, including my cousin Rajesh, they make all the YouTube tutorial that people then watch to then run Google, Microsoft, and all the tech companies. But guys, here's the thing, okay? We, Indians, we also made another very, very important tutorial, you know? We made the Kama Sutra. Now, anytime somebody looks at me, they assume I have good software skills. What about my hardware skills, people? I mean, there are 1.4 billion Indians. How do you think that happened? IT support? Man, fucking crazy, you know? Like, but I don't blame people for that because that is something which happens quite naturally, you know? When cultures mix, there is always a lot of confusion and stereotype, and it's quite common, you know? Because when I moved to Germany, I was also really confused about almost everything. One of the things that confused me the most is where the fuck do I shop? You know, because there were just so many supermarkets, you know, there is Rewe, Edeka, you know, Lidl, Aldi. It took me 2 whole years to figure out that supermarkets in Germany work the same way as caste system in India. You know, at the bottom of the pyramid, you have the penny and the netto. Then you have the Aldi and the Lidl. Then you have the Rewe and the Edeka. You know your rents are going to go up if the penny in your neighborhood is turning into an Edeka. And if the Edeka in your neighborhood is turning into a netto, yeah, congratulations, you're now in a ghetto. Yeah, man. But the thing is, I'm a upper caste Brahmin boy from India. That's really the creme la creme of Indian society. So I can't really shop from any of these shops. I really need to find out what's at the top of the food chain of German supermarkets. It's Al Natura. So I was like, okay, I'm going to shop from Al Natura, and I wanted to buy me some chicken, okay? Now I can look at some surprised faces already. You're like, you're a Brahmin guy, you can't eat chicken. Well, who gives a shit? Yeah? We are in Germany, land of the free. So I was like, I'm going to eat some chicken, so I enter Al Natura, and the moment I enter Al Natura, I was even more confused than before. Because I enter, and there are 4 fucking types of chicken there. You know? How many types of chicken we have in India? It's just 1 type of chicken. It's a dead fucking chicken. At Al Natura, we first had the normal chicken. Then we had the organic chicken. Then we had vegan chicken. Any vegans in the house? Woohoo! Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Why are you torturing plants into becoming meat? If you miss it so much, just eat the real deal. A vegan chicken. But then there is the 4th type, you know? I found out there is a 4th type. It's called a happy chicken. Does anyone know what a happy chicken is? I did not, so I had to call the storekeeper. You know, her name was Lara. I was like, hey, Lara, can you please tell me what happy chicken is? So Lara tells me that a happy chicken is a chicken whose stress levels were constantly monitored. You know? They were making sure that the chicken is happy before it was killed. I was like, why the fuck would I want that? I want my chicken to be sad and miserable. I want it to be looking forward to its death. so that it can finally be marinated in the 72 herbs and spices to become that amazing chicken tikka masala. I don't want no happy chicken. So Lara tells me that, it's not really about that, because when you eat happy chicken with less stress, then you're also happier. You become more happy when you eat happy chicken. And I was like, what kind of a rich German bullshit is that? Like, why can't they just be normal, happy like normal people, go out, meet some people, make friends? Why do they need to destroy a happy chicken family? Like, imagine the daddy chicken and the daughter chicken going all... And Hans is all of a sudden hungry. The daughter chicken is dead. Hans can't even be sad about it anymore, the chicken. Because apparently if you're sad, your stress level goes up. And then they put you in the cage with all the sad chicken. Yeah, I told this story to a friend of mine, and my friend was like, Akash, you do realize that all of us are technically the chicken in this story? Yeah, that's a TED Talk part of this joke. Yeah, but since I was in Germany, I really needed to be happy, so I was like, fuck it, I'm going to buy that happy chicken. So then I go ahead, I pick the chicken up, and then turns out it's 50 euros a kilogram. Yeah, I was really stressed. Then I read the label, and then it says that the chicken had 4 square meters of free space while growing up. Yeah, that's 4 times my Munich apartment. So now I was depressed as well. And since I couldn't afford the happy chicken, I had to find happiness the old-fashioned way, so I had to try and make friends in Germany. I was like, that's difficult, how do we do that? So somebody tells me that the Germans, they really like playing sports, So I should observe what the Germans do, and then I should try to become a part of it. So I go out and I see a bunch of Germans trying to, swim against the flow of the Isar River. I go a little bit more, I see a bunch of German women running. I then go to this place called a boulder hall where I see a bunch of Germans trying to climb a wall. And then I'm standing there wondering what the fuck are these guys training for? They're already here. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Germans are a bit extreme in everything, They are a bit extreme, even the sports they do is extreme. When they do war, it's like World War. They don't do the basic shit anymore. So, and I kind of moved to Germany from Netherlands, actually. So I was like, okay, you know what? I like to cycle a bit. So maybe I join a cycling club. Yeah. I joined a cycling club. And then I met Hans there. Hans's idea of cycling is going 400 kilometers across the Alps on a weekend. When I say I like cycling, I mean going to the English garden. Fucking hell. So I was like, okay, guys, you know what? We're not going to do it anymore. I think I need to go back to Al Natura. I met Lara again, and I was like, hey, Lara, can we be friends? She's like, sure. I was like, you like doing sports? She's like, yes. I like, can we go swimming together maybe? She's like, yeah, I like swimming. We can go swimming. So, we make a plan to go swimming, and she takes me to the Olympia swimming pool. Yeah, we were there 2 hours. She did 20 laps of the swimming pool. Even her hair was not wet. Me, on the other hand, I did half a lap, and I lost my swimming goggles. So then Lara comes to me, and Lara was like, what the fuck are you doing, Akash? I was like, oh, you know what? I was actually, diving from the dive boat. You guys been to the Olympia swimming pool, yeah? Woo! Yeah, so you know that there's the diving board and everything. There are 5 levels on it and all of that stuff. So then she asked me, Akash, which level are you diving from? I'm like, I'm diving from level 2. So Lara is like, ha, level 2 is for losers. Real men, they jump from level 5. And at that point, I just wanted to chicken out. But then somebody told me that, you're a foreigner in Germany, Akash, You're not just representing yourself, you're representing your whole country. So I was technically representing 1.4 billion Indians. They were right behind me in the representation ladder. I was like, oh, fuck. I might be a chicken, but they're strong people. So I was like, fuck that shit. I'm going to go climb level 5. I climbed level 5, and I looked down. It's about 20 meters. And I just wanted to go back. But you remember there are 1.4 billion Indians behind me? So it's a big traffic jam now. The only way out is down. So I'm an aerospace engineer, and I'm kind of smart, okay? So I figured out it's 20 meters, yeah? And then gravity is 9.8 meters per second. So it's going to take me about 2.104 seconds to touch the surface of the water. That's quick maths. So I was like, okay, fuck it, And then at that moment, I jumped. But when I jumped, I realized another very important concept. It's that time is relative. This one is just for the ladies in the audience. Depending on what you're doing, 2 seconds can be a very long time. Trust me. Yeah. Because that 2 second kind of felt like eternity, I was falling, and I just felt like I was falling, and it kept falling. At one point, the German economy came to me. And it was like, bro, where you going? I'm like, down. They're like, me too. So we just high-fived each other. And then I beat the German economy on my way down. It's somewhere still falling. And then at one point, I think I reached so low that I could see Trump's IQ. But just before I was about to reach Trump's IQ, my ass touches the surface of the water. Now I know what you guys are thinking. You're like, you dive like this, how is your ass touching the water? It should be your leg. I know, but I was representing 1.4 billion Indians, so I couldn't just go straight down. I had to do some stunts, so I decided to do a cannonball. Yeah. So the ass touches the surface of the water. The water enters my asshole. It goes through my small intestine, then my large intestine, and then it comes out to my mouth. I get a free enema. I got really clean intestines now, I actually did this joke actually in the first show, the before show. And then there was a German doctor. She came to me after the show. And then she was like, Akash, the sequence is wrong. She was like, it's the anus, then it's the large intestine, and then the small intestine. And then she also corrects me that the Olympic dive board is not 20 meters, it's actually 10. Yeah. And then I was like, what the fuck? And she's like, oh, no, I'm just telling you this because I care for you. I was like, where was this care when I was looking for my house arts? German doctors, I tell you. So, when I touch the surface of water, the water enters my asshole, goes through my small intestine. For any fucking doctors here, small intestine, passes through my large intestine, and then comes out of my mouth. I get a free enema, and I somehow managed to reach the shore, like the edge of the pool. And then I look back, and Lara is jumping from level 2 herself. Germans, I tell you. Anyways, guys, that was my time. Thank you for being such a lovely audience. We're going to take a quick 3 to 5 minutes break, just 3 to 5 minutes. So if you want to get drinks, go pee, do whatever you want, and then we're going to have the headliner for the night. So guys, thank you so much. Thank you.